In a few weeks, you're going to sit in front of your laptop for 3.5 hours, and in those 3.5 hours, Kalvium is going to find something about you that no exam, rank or mark sheet has ever measured. Here's exactly what that looked like. Today we are going to discuss KNET and why it is built that way. I'm Deepak, co-founder of Kalvium, and we have never done this publicly before. Broken down exactly what happens inside KNET, stage by stage with this level of detail. Today we are every stage in order, what it's testing, why it exists, and what Kalvium is actually trying to find out about you. And before we move forward, every student who's going to take KNET should swear by the Kalvium honor code. Most entrance tests start with a syllabus. Chapters, topics, previous year's papers. You know the system, you've been inside it for years. KNET starts somewhere different. It starts with a question. What does it actually take to become someone who can build things that matter? And can you measure that before someone even starts college? That's it. And everything that you're going to experience for the next 3.5 hours is designed backwards from that one question. So let's walk through it stage by stage. The first thing you'll encounter is not a test at all. It's a psychometric assessment. And the most important thing about this is there is no pass or fail. There is no particular personality type that Kalvium is filtering for. It's a set of questions you have probably never been asked before. Not about what you know, but about how you work, how you respond when you're stuck, what kind of environment actually brings the best out of you, what kind of people around you make you sharper. Some students find this surprisingly hard to answer. Not because the questions are difficult, but because nobody's ever asked them this about themselves before. So answer honestly, there is nothing to gain here. And whatever you find out about yourself is useful information either way. But that's just the beginning. The test itself is a very different experience entirely. 90 minutes, 4 challenges, no previous year papers, no answer key anywhere. The first is a case study, a situation presented in stages. You clarify first. Define the problem, prioritize, recommend. Then anticipate what could go wrong with your own answer. And once you submit a stage, you can't go back, just like the real world. The second is an app debugging simulation. 5 rounds of screens like a hospital booking app, a food delivery interface, or a banking flow. You're spotting what's broken, who the wrong user is, what's missing. It's all about just systematic thinking. Don't worry, there is no coding, just thinking. The third is a conversation with Cal. Cal is an AI narrator inside Part A, and don't worry, Cal will not ask you for definitions. Cal will talk to you about group situations, everyday dilemmas, moments where you have to make a call with incomplete information. No script, no right answer, just you thinking in real time. And then finally the fourth, which is a game. And that's all I'm going to tell you. You will find out what the game is when you get there. So why build a test like this? See, the question we are trying to answer isn't who has the best memory. It is who can think through something they have genuinely never seen before. And memorizing the right chapters doesn't get you that. When Part A ends or when 90 minutes are up, there is a fixed 10-minute bio break. Get up, stretch, get some water, and then Part B begins. It starts at a fixed time regardless of when you finish Part A. There's one more thing worth knowing. In case you are late to start, up to 10 minutes, you still get the full 90 minutes for each section. The clock is generous that way, but don't test it. 46 multiple choice questions, 90 minutes, no negative marking. And here's what makes it different from any other test you would have sat in. For example, one section hands you a rule system you may not have seen before, like a cipher, invented rules, things you couldn't have studied before because they do not exist outside this test. And then it asks you to use those rules to solve problems in the same setting. Not to check if you know the system. Nobody does, and it's not useful. The question is, can you learn something brand new and apply it precisely and quickly? It's not a memory test, it's a thinking test. The other sections, that is logical reasoning and applied judgment, they also work the same way. No formulas from school, no topics to revise, just reasoning and judgment applied to situations you may not have seen before. No negative marking, by the way, so Kalvium wants you to engage, not play it safe. If you are shortlisted, you will have an interview. Not a stress test, not a final gate to fight it through, just a conversation. Kalvium is just asking, are you someone who would thrive in this environment? And do you understand what you're really signing up for? But here's the part people miss. Any interview goes both ways. By the end of that conversation, you should also have enough to answer the same question from your side. Is this the right place for you? So come ready to be honest. not polished. There's a difference. So here's the uncomfortable thing about KNET. Every exam you have sat till now, like the boards, JEE, school tests, told you your rank, where you stand relative to everyone else. Higher the rank, better the outcome. That's the game. KNET doesn't give you a rank. It's not asking are you better than the person next to you. It's an absolute measure, not a relative one. It measures something harder. Do you have the ability to think through something you might never have seen before? So we don't look at your rank, we only look at your readiness. We are sharing all of this because we want you to walk in knowing exactly what you're there for. You can also find individual videos about each part of the KNET and also the technical setup you will require before the test day. If you have specific questions, your counselor is the right person. They can give you what this video cannot. And if you've been sitting on the fence about registering, stop waiting and step up. 3.5 hours and use them honestly.